Good afternoon, everyone. This is John from FPP in Brazil, welcoming everyone, all the institutions from the UK. We bringing this at this time, especially for you guys. And today we've got a bit of a special session. It's a relaxed live. The team's been working for the past 6 months or so on some ed tech solutions. We're very excited to show UK institutions for the first time today. And I have with us Giulio Honchetti, who is the founder of FPP and Nova Tech, and he's going to run you through everything. And if you've got any questions, please put them down. Any comments, whether it's negative or positive, please put them in the chat, and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. Giulio, over to you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everybody. I have to say that I'm using my cell phone internet right now. I'm sorry, I apologize if something happens. I live in a gay community, and today, it's once a year, of course, the company had to have a maintenance in the infrastructure, and it's right now. So I apologize if my internet freezes or anything, but let's go. Let's try to do it. Yeah, thanks, John, for the introduction. Yeah, we've been working super hard, actually, almost for some of the projects we started over a year ago. Technology is, it's amazing, but it takes time to get things done when you want to do great things. And we are very proud. I am very proud to be here today to show you what we have done and what that means to universities, to our clients, and our students. I'm going to go ahead without any further ado, and I'm going to share my screen and get started. As John said, please do leave your comments. We would love to get your take on things that we're doing. Let me go ahead. Share my screen. Please go, John or Vincent.
Yep, we can see it now, Giulio.
Very good. Thanks. Okay. So what we're going to talk today, we're going to talk about what's coming up, right? And we have a few things. First is the portable booth. It's an amazing technology to help universities engage with students from anywhere. If you have attended our virtual fairs, you have seen our, your virtual booth with all your panel and things that you can do. We were able to reproduce that, create a huge infrastructure on the back, and you are now able to take your booth anywhere. And when I mean anywhere, I mean anywhere. It could be on your digital space, could be on a social network, could be on, take it to an in-person event. You could take it to a flyer. You could take it to an email. You can take it anywhere. And I'm going to show you in just a moment how you can do that if you like this feature. I'm also going to talk about the Student World app. The Student World, I'm not sure you know, it's our student face brand, right? That's how students know about FPP. Universities, they know FPP. Students, they know us as the Student World. The Student World was actually a UK company, was the largest UK student fair organizer that we acquired 7 years ago in 2015. And we liked the brand, we liked the name, and then we changed all our branding to the Student World. And then I'm going to talk to you about the integration with Nova Tech. Nova Tech is another company, is our sister company, which is 100% focused on undergraduate, and it has developed technologies that FPP has not. And actually, to my knowledge, I don't know any other company that offers to high school counselors the technology that we offer. And then last but not least is our matching tool that is still a pilot. We launched a few weeks ago. If you have attended any fair recently, you've noticed that the system is matching your university profile with every single student. And we've been getting feedback so we can adapt that, make changes, and improve it. And it's been really helpful for students and universities. Most of the universities like this very much because it optimizes their time. It does it organically because it's like works like a GPS. Students see the ones that match the most, and those are the ones they end up going first. And by talking to those students, universities increase the chance of conversion, right? Because it's much easier to talk to someone that that wants what you have to offer, right? Than talking to someone that shows up and tell me about you and you may not have what the student wants. That's in terms of location, in so many other aspects. But anyway, so that's what we have been doing, and let's move on. So let's introduce Nova. I'm not sure if you have heard of Nova. We started Nova in 2020 in the middle of COVID. And our idea was to leverage our virtual fair platform and do domestic events only. But it turns out that, high schools from all over the world, they learned about what we were doing and we expanded. Domestically, especially this year, it's been more difficult because most of high school counselors in domestic markets, which we do US and UK, they decided to do the in person now. And they said they're going to go back to virtual maybe next semester or from next year because of the advantages that we offer when they compare to in person. And they say they might be doing some in person and might be doing some virtual. And we hope they choose us as a partner. So Nova is a tech company, real tech company. Like more than 50% of our staff are developers, people that code, people that work with infrastructure, people that are full stack or specific stack. So it's really it's a tech company, and we've been producing 100% technology in several different fronts. Again, India, we have two arms. One is for the education, the other one is for crypto. And the education is 100% focused on undergrad recruitment. So Nova does micro events. They go to high schools and say, would you like us to, take your event online? So we work with few high schools and few high schools per time. Sometimes they're more, they join together. Like we've done amazing events in Germany, in France, in China, in many places. We depend on the high schools, of course, to promote because that's their own event. But we've been, learning and improving our services. And we've been doing some events have been really amazing. Some have been good. We had some not so good events, but we understood the reason. So we talked to the high schools, and we are always trying to improve. But we do that micro. FPP, we're doing regional events. Every time FPP does an undergrad recruitment, it goes in a region. So it's all Brazil, all Latin America, or Southeast Asia, or India. So FPP invites all high school counselors to send students. So it's not their event. When Nova does the event, it's the high school event, right? And when FPP does, it's FPP's event, and the high schools simply send students over. And we are going to do in December, just so you know, it's not a part of the conversation, but what we expect to be the largest crypto event ever. And it's going to be a virtual event. We are building a new platform, something really futuristic with space shuttles and things like this. The event's going to take place on the moon. So and actually we are going to And as we finish the platform, we're going to be using this platform in 2023 for our education events as well, especially the undergrad one, because we think this is going to relate a lot to what students like. People say, oh, students are tired of screen time. It's funny because students can spend hours and hours playing video game online and they don't get tired. They can do that every day, right? So that's why we don't agree to that. We think that it's really about people are tired of Zoom sessions. People are tired of events where they see no value, they see no engagement. And that's what we believe, and that's why we are doing everything we do. We try to get students engaged, and so they can come to our events. But anyway, let's move on. This is just the introduction. Let's talk about the portable booth. Yes, the portable booth. It's a technology we call a software as a service, because you can have the license and use it for 1 year. The way you allows easy communication and real engagement. It all started from a university in the US that asked us if they could use their booth because they really liked the platform. And they wanted to have, because they have some sort of very complicated Zoom thing in their welcome center on their website. And then we said, yeah, we can do that. And we made lots of new features to that. Here, if you put it on your website, for instance, you can have the channel open. You can talk to students that can come to see your information, and they can, I want to talk to, can you help me now? So you can engage with the student right at the moment. You simply, just like a phone, you call the student, just like the platform, if you have used our virtual fair platform, and you're talking, engaging with that student that came to your website. If you don't have the time, or if you're not available at that time, we can have a bot working for you, or simply a contact form. Everything is, just click a button and something comes up, and something comes on and off. So, and I'm gonna share. I'm gonna change screen here. I think it's easier if I do this. Okay. So what can you do with your portable booth? You can, instance, to an in-person event. When you go to in-person events, you have to take so many brochures, right? Sometimes you have to carry lots and lots of boxes, or you have to ship the boxes. And then there are problems. It's very costly to print the brochures and to ship the brochures, all the boxes, right? Especially if you travel around the world. Then also sometimes there are problems with customs, right? And we all know that the majority of the brochures that we take to events, they end up in trash. That's the truth, right? And there's so much money that's spent on that. While with this portable booth, you simply have your QR code right there for the student. And the student has access to all your PDF, all your brochures, all your videos, all your information very easily in the digital format. They can share with parents, they can save to look later, or if they, if that was supposed to be to trash, at least it doesn't damage the environment, right? We also create a way for your ROI in terms of lead acquisition, right? So the system can track very easily. You can easily create campaigns. So you say, for instance, I'm going to attend XYZ in-person event. So you just click, name the link, and enter the investment. If you're going to an in-person event, you have to put the fees. You have to add up the fees, the flights, the hotels, then food, Uber, everything that you expect to spend. And then you can add it if you spend more or less at the end of the day. But then, because this will track how many leads you will get. Why? Because in order for the student to have access to your brochures and your information, it's requested that they leave their name, email, and then as they leave their name and email, that's saved in the system for you, and that's tracking. So if you divide your investment by the number of leads that you acquired in that particular event, you see the cost per lead, and then you can compare these costs as you use in other platforms. Example, you might like to use this on YouTube, you might like to use on an Instagram, or you might like to use it on a flyer that you got someone to distribute somewhere. Any place you can create different campaigns, and by entering the investment and the system will track the lead acquisition, you are able to compare apples and bananas, right? But always with the reference of lead acquisition. And of course, it's more sustainable because it's digital, right? And this is very appreciated, especially for, I guess, by everybody today, but especially for Generation Z. They appreciate companies that are trying to be more sustainable, and that includes universities as well. And as I said, you can have that your portable booth with the channel of communication on your website. You can have it on other digital platforms, and it works perfectly. People go in, they talk, and you start conversation. You can have one-on-one conversation, you group conversation, so you can open a channel and bring people to one conversation. You can have a broadcast where you can present something directly from this portable booth. So it's everything is easy to find for students, because they go to resources, they find all your resources. They go to quick links, they see all quick links, maybe a link to your application form, a link to scholarships page that you have, and so on and so forth. So you all information is there, and at the same time, it's a channel of communication. Which, like, if you use Zoom, what happens with Zoom? Zoom is okay, I give you a link, call me, but people come on your website, and then they can't call Zoom. I mean, you would have to come and create a link and then go after me on this link. And it's not really easy. We think this is really an easier way of doing. And again, so you can do everything. It's a new way of communication, right? You can do everything from there, and it tracks all the conversations you have with students is recorded. If your bot, you're not available, but your bot were there to have a conversation, so you can go after the student. The platform also has a feature that shows each conversation that you had with each person. We track the country of the student as well, and we see the level of engagement. So the longer the conversation, the higher the level of engagement, and that information is there for you to optimize your time, right? Because if you want to follow up on students, you should probably go after the ones that had higher engagement first, right? And you can share your screen, just like all the other platforms out there. You can share your screen. You can share any documents, anything you have in your portable booth visually. So you're talking to a student, you want to recommend one of your PDFs. You just share, the student gets it, saves it. And of course, students can use this on a desktop or on a phone. Usually, we see students using this on a phone if they are attending an in-person fair. But if they are at home, that works same way, and they can use the computer. We have made tests, and we see that when you include this on your email, it increases the number of link clicks. we did tests like where we had students from Brazil, Colombia, India, and we sent a normal message that we would send via email, right? And then we tracked the number of clicks. And then we got the same exactly message and sent to the same number of students from the same countries, not the same students, but students from the same country and the same number. It was about 50,000 students. And we included a link that says, chat with us now. Because of that, we had 1,500% more clicks. So 1,500% more clicks in the same message. So this is an experience that we want to say. We just entered 300% here to be safe, but we got a much bigger number than that. So yes, you can have your portable booth there. So you put a link, chat with us now, that will link to your portable booth. Students will leave their name and email, for instance, and then they're there available getting your information. And if you're available, you can talk to them. You can even say, have campaigns where you have your own virtual fair by yourself, where you can say, come talk to us here on Monday from 2 to 3 or 2 to 5, I don't know. And then students can come and talk to you. You're going to be available to answer questions, and that's that's another thing that you can do. So this is about the portable booth. This is going to be available now, first through Nova and then through FPP. So if you have a booth with Nova, we have many UK universities that have attended our events. You will, the only thing you probably have to do is to update your booth with more material. So the more, the better, right? And that would be ready to go. That's going to be launched now in June, a booth with us in FPP. Then it's going to take probably 2 to 3 months to get this available, because we are going to create APIs so we can bring your booth to Nova as you create, if you want to have something like that. Okay, but we are going to send more. We have videos that I just got this morning. I didn't have time to watch it yet, so that I'm not showing you today. But we are a marketing team. Actually, our marketing team is in the UK. But anyway, they are working on that, and we are going to be sending more information if it's something that you would like to have. Now, moving on, let's go to the next one that we are very excited about. It's something we've been working for quite a long time. I think probably 8 months, 9 months. And now it's in the testing phase. And we are very excited because we know we did this for students and for universities. Students, they have so many different sources for information, right? So what we do, everything we do is to help students make the right decisions. We're not an agent, so we don't recommend anything, but we use technology to help them. And because if we help students all possible ways, they see us as a source, and that's how we can help universities, right? Because at the end of the day, when you use our services, to promote your programs and to get leads. And when you go to an in-person event or to a virtual event, or if you announce, you have ads on other social networks or other companies, you are generating leads, and those leads, you work with those leads and try to convert them, right? So at the end of the day, we are this. But the great thing about fairs in comparison to other platforms is that you can engage with that lead and you can leave an impression that counts, right? So we are doing this for students so we can help them structure their journey. So what we do, first, we match them, right? We match them with universities so they don't have to do a research in terms has what they're for. So we help them. And then they have a smaller number of universities to go to have a deep dive and really check, other things. We put them in contact with those universities. That's what we do, right? So we match and we put them in contact. Why? Because that's the opportunity for them to ask the questions that matter to them. And each one may have different, questions to make. Maybe the other one's about, I don't know, things to do at the university or everyone has a story. So by doing this, we are also helping to structure their journey, because the app will sort everything that we have, and then other tabs that say, hey, these are my short list. And every time they like a university, like a social network, they click, I want to follow this one. That moves to another tab. And that's the tabs they start paying more attention. And of course, when they apply to another tab, so they can be more structured, more organized, rather than organizing everything on their inbox. So the app for universities is a way of connecting with the students they have already connected, and finding and be found by many more students. The app, it works like this. After the event, you came to your booth, right? And what usually happens, you download all your leads, and then you probably upload your leads to your CRM, and you start sending messages, emails, right? But the opening rate of an email average is 5%. So it's very low. So it means that many students that you connected with, that you paid to get the leads, are not actually checking. And I'm going to show you how cool that is in just one or two slides. Students are going to be connected all the way. So when you come, and instead of attending an event that took 4 hours, all those students are going to be in your network in the app, and they can continue following you. They can even talk to you through our system. If you have the time and you want to, they can have face calls with you. They can schedule appointments with you, right? So you have all the information on all the students here. You already have in the Excel file that you download, fine, but it's also going to be here when you want to use the system, right? And with every single student in the platform, even if they are in your network in the app, or if they're not in your network in the app, you see how or not. So it looks more or less like this. I'm not going to be able, there's lots of things in the app. I'm just going to show just 1, 2 things out of 20, 30, right? So, but this is the home, that's the news feed of the student. So the university is posting. So it hasn't been launched. So it says University of Sydney, but this is not University of Sydney. This is us internally testing, right? And you see that students, they see how much they match with each university. Why? Also to help them out, to say, okay, am I going to check this one or not? Because we will have 2,000, 3,000 universities here. Every university that has attended one of our events can use the app, will have an account to use if they want to. We launch as a club, meaning it's closed. Only students that attend, that registered with us for one of our events, will have an account, and only students that register in the future will have an account. Then universities, if a university have never attended, the past 2 years has not attended one of our our events, they don't have an account because this is in our system. We are building an ecosystem here. In the future, can we open? Yes, but if we start open, then we start getting registrations of weird people and companies, or we at the moment we prefer to leave this closed as a club, a huge club. Last year alone, FPP had 1.2 million students registering for our events. So that's quite a big number. So we do have a huge database, and that's, I think, is our biggest advantage, because we have so many events, and we're all the time advertising and bringing leads to bringing students to the ecosystem. But anyway, so it's easy. The students can comment, you can comment, other students can comment. And if students can, if they want to and they're going to click, I want to follow you, right? And then you will get that information in your dashboard. That will allow you to keep the engagement, right? This is a test. This is my arm, by the way. This is a test we were doing 2 nights ago, and I was logged in as a student, and somebody else was logging as a university, and they were adding scholarships or adding information to the system, and boom, I got the push, and this is my iPhone. So you see that what I want to show you with this is when you post something, students will get push notifications. So when we compare to the 5% opening rate in mail to this, there's no comparison. So students will learn about everything that you are bringing to them. We also have an area for schools to enter scholarships, and everybody wants scholarships. It doesn't have to be a full scholarships, but we think that scholarships could be an interesting strategy because we see scholarships differently from discounts. If you offer a 10% discount, you have to everyone, right? But if you say, I have 30 seats for a 10% tuition reduction scholarship, then you can choose the students you're going to give it to, right? I'm not going to be able to show you, but it's very, we ask a few questions, including like, who is this scholarship to? What location? So if your scholarship is going to be only to students from Colombia, then only students from Colombia will get to see your special deal, right? With a special scholarship. So, I mean, the app is going to have a lot of things. I was expecting the app to be launched in March, but it's late. Technology is like this. So I now expect the app to be launched before September, right? By August, I'm very confident that we will be able to launch the app by August, right? Nova will also have, this is an app that will work with Nova and FPP. Most likely the one for undergrad for Nova will be launched now in June, right? And FPP, which covers the whole thing, like postgrad, MBA, languages, everything should be launched by August. But it's a super cool thing. And again, besides being, I think, very creative, but the great thing for us is that we will bring so many students here, and already so many universities, which is the hardest part for any platform, for any ed tech, is to bring audience, because it's expensive. FPP last year spent $2 million on advertising. That's a lot of money, right? And usually companies, they don't have this money. But because we advertise our events, it's part of, we try to spend less, of course, but we have to spend the money for the events. So for our technology, it's just like we have all this crowd, and we don't really spend money because the money is already being spent for other things that we have in the company. So that's a great advantage of FPP in comparison to other ed tech companies. This is a quick view Like, as I told you, you can say, I'm going to be free to talk to students from Monday from 2 to 5 my time, my local time. Then the students, if they want to talk to you, they can make an appointment. And then you see, oh, the student wants to talk to me. Let me check the profile. Oh, he matches with me 85%, and he's from this really good private high school. Yes, I'm going to make time for the student. And then you accept the meeting. When the time comes, both parties get push notifications, your meeting is coming, so on and so forth. And then you can have a face call with the student. You just decline and offer help via email or even through the system. So basically, so we have our own communication thing. And one other cool thing is that everything runs from in our hub, right? So the information goes to our database. That information feeds the app, meaning you don't have to go and create profiles all over again. No, it's one place. We read your database in the app, we read the information in our database to the virtual fairs, and we read that same information, if you choose so, to your portable booth. So every time you update any information of yours in your account, it's updated automatically to the entire ecosystem. And also, that information is going to be available to high school councils, which is what I am going to talk in just a moment. So this is a quick overview. Students have a mobile phone app, and universities have a web-based, right? So you see that on your desktop, because you have many more features, and you can have complete control of what's going on with those. Should you like to use this, right? So, guys, I know I'm going fast, and you probably have questions, but I wonder if I just can finish this, and then I will open for questions. So the undergraduate recruitment, it's the most, I think, for me, is the best type of students that we can bring, because we only work with international schools, private schools. If you go to emerging countries, like go to Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, the students that universities want, they are the students that have the money. And these students, they don't go to public schools in this country. They all go to expensive high schools. If you go to an event and you get 5,000 leads, maybe those 5,000 leads will never, ever convert, depending on which students are those. But maybe if you go to another one that you get 50 leads, you might get 5-10% conversion. Why? Because that's simply the type of students. Though some can afford and can travel, and majority of others, they won't be able to, right? So I know it's hard sometimes to understand. I know it's easy to understand, but sometimes when you travel, you don't know the country, or you don't know how things work, and that might be confusing. You might go to an event, oh, I have a lot of students, but at the end of the day, they want to, they really want to, but unfortunately, they don't have the economics to go. So the undergrad that we worked, that FPP works and Nova works, except when it's for domestic recruiting, we do go to public schools because that works, like domestic public schools in the US and public schools in UK. When we do events and those, yes, okay, fine. But if you're talking about Latin America, Africa, if you're talking about, there's lots of we go to national recruitment, right? And everybody wants to go to reach out to these students, everybody. So what companies that organize fairs, including FPP, what they do, they say, hey, high school counselor, I have a fair for students. I'm bringing universities here for them. So I want to make money on you, right? Everybody, that's what they hear. Of course, we don't say that, but that's what it means. Send your students, right? So That's why it's difficult, because all companies are like this. But Nova is not. Nova has a lot of things to offer the high schools for free. And I'm going to show you here what we do, why we don't do this kind of thing. And that's the reason why we are transferring FPP's undergraduate recruitment into Nova, because we have more arguments to deal with the high schools, right? Because, oh yeah, we are helping them by bringing opportunities. Fine. But there are many companies that can do that, right? So we want, in order to have their support, we need to give them things in exchange, and that we give them technology that we have built, right? And what have we built? I'm going to share my screen with you, right? I'm going to show you. This is got one here. We do like 150 events, 200 events a year, right? But this is the high school account. Companies like FPP, we have accounts for universities and accounts for students, right? But Nova also has offer accounts to high school counselors. And that's where they can have an idea of what really happened in their event, and they can help students further. After the event is over, you take the leads, you can home, you can send students emails, but students, they say, hey, I like this, I like that, can you help me with this? They go to their high school counselor, right? And so we give high school counselors complete control on everything that happens in the event. So we give them all the information on these, because they need information on institutions in order to help students, right? So they can simply click here and they can see this is a high school in Georgia. It's a low-income high school for domestic recruitment, right? They're in Georgia, and we give different types of information, fields of study offered, selectivity at rate, some graphics, but we give them information on each of the universities. So here are all the universities, and they know which universities were more popular. They say Georgia College was more popular. I don't know, Savannah got 107, right? It's a design good one. Let's know more about Savannah. So I click here, and I have all the information that you entered in our database. Again, one database feeding the whole ecosystem, right? So I can have, as a high school counselor, information I need to keep guiding my students. So I see what you offer, majors, everything that you have, including your brochures, your videos, your photos, everything that you have in your virtual booth. I have, quick links. Anyway, I need to help my students further, because they get to see universities they never heard of. So they have information. So that's why we provide that to them in a very easy, organized way and free of charge, to keep guiding their students. If they want to see which students visited 107, oh, these are the 107. So all these students here visited the design university, and they know which ones said plan to apply. They know that this is the high school counselor name, that's the high school, and these are the student names, right? So they know, oh, I see my Addison Mees visited, right? That one, also how each of their students match with each of the exhibiting universities. So I'm going to click on the link students now, and then I see, look, I see all these students, and I see how, if I want to know how much they match with each one, I don't know, I'm going to click on one here. So you see here, I see the information my student provided, the institutions, Alfredo Menes, right? I'm talking Alfredo Martinez. Alfredo Martinez visited all these universities and how much they match. You see, the students, they visit first the ones they match the most. That's what they do. That's why this matching thing is beautiful, because it helps students and it helps university talk to the students that have a higher chance to convert. And I can see here, show my matches, the items that they match. In this case, it's a domestic. I don't know, they probably didn't provide this information. But anyway, I go here, it's the same student. So the high school counselor has all this information. So that helps them, understand and help their students. And that's what we do. We also developed a vocation. They can create an account and use a vocational test with their students for free. And students, they come and they take the test, and the test helps them first reflect about who they are, their personalities, right? And again, our mission is to help students make the right decision. So these are things the high school counselor, they have access to all the students that took the test, their personality, and they can see how each of the students match with the entire base that we have in our ecosystem. So why? With this is a mock-up, right? This is not, we are waiting for the app to launch this, but this is done. You see institution 24, it's not there. Here would be University of Sydney, University of London, whatever, right? So, and they have information on every single university in the ecosystem, all the 2,000, 3,000 universities that are in our ecosystem. So they have all the information, and they have all the details on the university, and they know how each matches with each university. Why we want to do that? Because we want to invert the system. Instead of inviting new universities to a fair that they don't know who is going to be there, students will invite the university that match with the student the most. So when you come to our event, you will meet only with students that match with you very high. So again, this is technology, and we are changing the whole system by doing this. Let me go back. I know my time is. So yeah, what we want, after all, we want you to choose us as your partner. We want to be your partner in lead generation. We want you to be in our ecosystem, because you see, by simply attending our events, you are part of the ecosystem. Your information are going to be available for high school counselors. We have 100,000 high school counselors in our database, not in our platform, but we are always talking to this high school counselor and trying to bring them to our ecosystem. I don't know how many we have. We maybe have like 2,000, 3,000 high schools in our ecosystem. And our secret sauce is innovation. We try to use technology, because technology, we are confident technology drives costs down. That's what Netflix does, Uber, Amazon, any technology that is successful, they drive costs down, and they get more convenient, and they work in they improve the system, right? And by doing that, we want to be useful, because from the moment we are not useful to students and to universities, they stop working with us, right? And the other thing that we use a lot is creativity and curiosity. We do all of this because we are curious. We want to see what happens if we do it. Okay, so that's all from me, guys. I was a bit longer than I expected, but if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Julio, do you have maybe there's some people that haven't been to our fairs, and when you say virtual booth, they don't have a visual of the virtual booth.
I don't have an image now. All I can tell you is that most of universities, most, and we can send you names of universities and reps that attend. They say that we have one of the best platforms out there because it's easy, it's very user friendly, and but I don't have an image now. But we can certainly send a video.
Can I share my screen just to show an image of a booth?
Go ahead. Yes, yes. Thanks, John.
Just so that they can see. Let me tell you when you can see my screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
So this is, you see the University of Sydney booth?
Yes.
So yeah, just to give a visual of those that haven't seen the booth before, this is what we're talking about. You can take this booth anywhere. So if you're at do a campaign on Instagram, you can have or Facebook, you can have the link there. They click on there, they go to your booth here, where they can you upload with videos, photos, everything like that, information. And I believe on the portable booth, Julio, there's actually a button to chat now as well, correct? And
yes,
they can,
correct.
And then if someone from the university is online, they can chat via text, and then they can invite a student for a video call if they like.
Yeah,
correct. And also, I believe we have a feature if
just like the platform.
Yeah, if they want, we can also integrate a bot into the portable booth if they wish. That's correct, right? I think I can't hear him now. So, guys, I think we just lost Julio. But anyway, with the portable booths, you can do different campaigns. Let's say you want to take your portable booth to an in-person fair with a QR code. So you can print the QR code, have it on your table. The student comes, scans the QR code, puts in their name and email, and then they'll have access to your booth like this with all your information. Let's say you wanted to do a campaign on Facebook. You could create that campaign. You would get a different link, different QR code, and you could see how many students clicked on there, went to your booth in that campaign. It also gives you a lot of stats of where they moved within the booth. So let's say student John went to your booth. You can see which videos they clicked on, how much time they spent on there, which brochures they looked at. So you've got a lot of stats in that way. Let me see if Julio's back with us. Are you there?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm using my cell phone here.
Okay.
Yeah, but do you have the vision from the platform inside on the institution's view of the dashboard?
Of the portable booth? No, I don't have that.
Okay. Well, we actually changed the design that you showed. Now we have a more modern design for the booth and all the buttons. There are many buttons actually. If you have a virtual tour and you enter your link to your virtual campus tour, it shows there. So there are many, like campus virtual tour, there's apply or I want to apply or plan to apply, chat with us, the resources where they find the brochures and videos. There are all different things showing.
And about the app, question about the app. So it's sort of like a social media feed, but from what I see for a student on the student side, let's say they've got other social media, they've got Instagram, for example. So, but when they go to Instagram, they'll in their feed, they get everything. They get bombarded by advertisement. There's everything there. Whereas I see with the app that the team's built, it's purely international education. So they'll go into the app. Everything they see in the feed is about universities posting, about their programs, about everything to do with international education. Another advantage I see for the student is they'll actually see the universities and how much they match with that student, with that university, correct? Yeah. So if they go to a website, we'll go to University of Sydney, University of Cape. Okay, great. They have the information there, but they don't know how much they match with that university. Within the app, they have it all there.
Yeah, I mean, we are building an ecosystem, right, where we want to have millions of students in there. We want to have thousands of universities, and we want to help everyone by matching each one. So the matching is not that, oh, wow, it's a match, that's for me. No, the matching is to help them on the research, to have an idea, to go get out of the dark, right? Because if you see a name, a photo or something, you don't know what that is. So we give the matching so people can optimize their time, students and universities, right? We want everybody to have the best experience. We want students to go and don't regret picking a university or institution they didn't, it was not really there what they want. So we are helping them, bringing more choices and making it easier. So the whole system shows how each one matches with each one. And there's no commercials, there's no advertisements, right? And the business model is you attend a fair, you can deal with all your students, but of course, if you want to network with other students that never got to see you in the fair from other events, from other regions, you will find that and you can network with them. And if you want to bring them to acquire that student to your network, and then you pay a credit, which we haven't decided. It's going to be just a few dollars, but we don't know. We haven't decided the price yet, right? But it's a way like when we advertise on Facebook or Instagram or Google, they charge you. Whoever sees that, they don't care if it's your segment, if you're target or not. They don't care. They charge. We don't do that. We only charge after you check and you see if you really like it. Okay, and then you're charged. If a student invites you to come to their network, to invite a student to come to your network, you only pay if the student accepts your invitation. If the student declines your invitation, you don't pay. I think this is the ideal thing for any advertiser, to pay only if that is what I want, right? So that's the way we built this.
So yeah, so just to recap on that, the way into the club is for the university goes to one of our virtual fairs. Okay, perfect. They meet students at the virtual fair, they chat, even have the contact details of students that entered their booth they didn't chat with, and the students that matched with them 70% or more and did not enter their booth. So they go away from the virtual fair with a lot of leads. These leads go automatically part of their network on the app. So any of those students, they do not pay any more for those students. So they're in the network. But then there's thousands, I don't know how many, it could be a 500,000 students in the network this year. Any one of those students that are not in their network can see that university, see that they're a good match, say, hey, university, I'd like to be part of your network. The university sees the student, sees the match, says, yes, let's take them. Then they pay the credit and then they're part of the network. So I think that works well.
Yeah, and also I'm sure that in the second version, because imagine there's so many requests, the university maybe they can check and accept all of them, but we want to create some features where the university can leave as a default. I want to accept any student that matches with me higher than 85%, so I don't have to go all the time. So it make it easier. These are not in the first version, but we're going to second, third, fourth, fifth. There's lots of things that we know what we want over time that we're going to be launching. But yeah, so that's what we want. We want to help everyone. That's what we want. Successful. We need to help.
I think, like you said, Julia, when you advertise on Facebook, Instagram, you pay for just if they've seen it. You don't know. So basically, universities putting their budgets into many different areas: in-person fairs, virtual fairs, counsellor workshops, agent workshops, their agent. But when they do advertising on Facebook or Instagram, they're basically casting out a net. They're saying, "Oh, let's try and reach a student." But no, with our app, we know every single student in the app is looking for international education because they've signed up for a virtual fair. They've signed up to get information about studying abroad. So I think that's a big advantage over different apps. Social media is 100% of the people on there are looking to study abroad. So that's
exactly.
That's good.
Yeah. And it's so we avoid those type of, we only get people, as you say, that are searching for a international, as far as study abroad kind of thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I think we don't have any other questions here, Julio. So I think we can, call it a wrap. We can say goodbye.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And hope you like our features. And I hope I have been able with everything that we have been doing.
Yeah, drop me a line. I've seen some people that I know there. If you've got any questions, I can help you out. No problem at all. Thanks a lot.